Greetings. My name is Abdullah and I'm from New York City. To be clear from the beginning, this channel is for advanced speakers of English. This channel is not for beginners. It is for those that want to move their English to the level of native or near native. Likewise, this is the perfect place to improve your accent, inshallah. As usual, I always use newspapers from the United States or the UK or magazine articles. So today's article is titled, McDonald's Found Liable for Hot Chicken McNugget That Burned Girl. And this comes to us from Yahoo News. Here we see a picture of the mother with her daughter in a courtroom. Chicken McNuggets lawsuit. Philana Holmes and her daughter, Olivia Caraballo, 7, listened to the final witness in their case at Broward County Courthouse in Fort Lauderdale on Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. McDonald's and a franchise holder are at fault after a hot chicken McNugget from a Happy Meal fell on the girl's leg and caused second-degree burns, a jury in South Florida has found Thursday, May 11th. Continuing. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Associated Press. McDonald's and a franchise holder are at fault after a hot chicken McNugget from a Happy Meal fell on a little girl's leg and caused second-degree burns, a jury in South Florida found in a case reminiscent of the famous hot coffee lawsuit of the 1990s. We will talk about this word reminiscent, inshallah, at the end of the video. I will define it for you and give you an example sentence. A second jury will determine how much McDonald's USA and its franchise owner, Upchurch Foods, will pay the child and her mother, the South Florida Sun-Sentinel reported. Thursday's decision was split, with jurors finding the franchise holder liable for negligence and failure to warn customers about the risk of hot food, and McDonald's USA liable for failing to provide instructions for safe handling of the food. McDonald's USA was not found to be negligent, and the jury dismissed the argument that the product was defective. Our sympathies go out to this family for what occurred in this unfortunate incident, as we hold customer safety as one of our highest priorities, McDonald's owner-operator Brent Upchurch said in a statement. We are deeply disappointed with today's verdict. And again, I would explain this word at the end. Because the facts show that our restaurant in Tarmac, Florida, did indeed follow those protocols when cooking and serving this Happy Meal. Jurors heard 2 days of testimony and arguments about the 2019 episode that left the 4-year-old girl with a burned upper thigh. Philana Holmes testified that she bought Happy Meals for her son and then 4-year-old daughter at a drive-through window at McDonald's in Tarmac, near Fort Lauderdale, the Sun-Sentinel reported. Sun-Sentinel is the name of their local newspaper. She handed the food to her children who were in the back seat. After she drove away, her daughter started screaming. The mother testified she didn't know what was wrong until she pulled over to help the girl. Olivia Caraballo, who is now 7, the newspaper reported. She saw the burn on the girl's leg and took photos on her iPhone, which included audio clips of the child's screams. The sound of the girl's screams were played in court. The child, who is autistic, did not testify, the newspaper reported. Lawyers for McDonald's noted that the food had to be hot to avoid salmonella poisoning, and that the nuggets were not meant to be pressed between a seatbelt and human flesh for more than 2 minutes. The girl's parents sued, saying that McDonald's and the franchise owner failed to adequately train employees, failed to warn customers about the dangerous temperature of the food, and for cooking the food to a much higher temperature than necessary. While both sides agreed the nugget caused the burns, the family's lawyers argued the temperature was above 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 93 degrees Celsius, while the defense said it was no more than 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 71 degrees Celsius. The case is likely to stoke memories of the McDonald's coffee lawsuit of the 1990s, which became an urban legend of sorts about seemingly frivolous lawsuits, even though a jury and judge had found it anything but. A New Mexico jury awarded Stella Lieback, 81, $2.7 million in punitive damages after she was scalded in 1992 by hot coffee from McDonald's that spilled onto her lap, burning her legs, groin, and buttocks as she tried to steady the cup with her legs while prying the lid off to add cream outside a drive-thru. She suffered third-degree burns and spent more than a week in the hospital. She had initially asked McDonald's for $20,000 to cover hospital expenses, but the company went to trial. A judge later reduced the $2.7 million award to $480,000, which he said was appropriate for the, and the article ends here, so I guess they want to say injury. Now, let's look at our vocabulary. First word, reminiscent. Reminiscent means to remind. So the sentence again, a jury in South Florida found in a case reminiscent of the famous hot coffee lawsuit of the 1990s, meaning it reminds you of the famous hot coffee lawsuit. Likewise, we see in the next paragraph, liable. Liable here means legally responsible. There's a dot over the I. So, today's decision was split, with jurors finding the franchise owner liable, meaning legally responsible. Verdict means simply the decision. And again, we are deeply disappointed with today's verdict, meaning legal decision. And stoke memory. Stoke is an interesting word. Stoke usually is used for fires, but here stoke means to stir. So you can stir a fire if you want the fire or the flames to grow higher. So in this situation, it means to stir, but more so it means to remind. Excuse me. Next, we have the word pry. Prying here means to open with force. So, the sentence, as she tried to steady the cup with her legs while prying the lid off to add cream outside a drive-thru. And again, in this situation, prying means to open with force. So, your homework. You have two things to do. Number one, reread the article with these definitions in mind. Number two, I want for you to use one of these words in a sentence in the comment, within the comment section. And also, let's have a conversation. Do you think that the jury was right? Was the woman at fault, or was McDonald's at fault? I have my opinion, and we can share that down in the comments below, inshallah. I have another video coming for you soon. It is very interesting. It is about a murder case in the city of Los Angeles, California. Inshallah, I will see you then. Allah ma'ak.